Good evening and welcome to the SRN. I'm Sean Fitz alongside producer John Long. And having some technical difficulties coming to you from Tsukuba right now. Here with the Radical Racing Leagues, this race just got kicked off 3 laps into a 45-lap event. And you see Tyler Bloom went for a ride. He's got a banged up SR8. He needs to work his way back around. I also show that Cliff Warren was off track. You see some left rear damage on the whole left side of that Radical's tore up. Let's take a quick look at our leader right now. Tim Dells out front and leading the charge here. Tim was very fast during warm-ups and was able to get out front during the standing start for tonight's event. Mariusz Lazinski's a little bit behind him there as you see Tyler Bloom in the background trying to limp that SR8 all the way down the long back straight here to get back around to the start finish line. Mariusz Lazinski currently running second tonight. Dan Allel running third as he completes his lap. And Eric Steele right now looks like he's working his way into turn 1, that sweeping right-hander here at Tsukuba. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight to the SRN. I'm Sean Fitz alongside producer John Long, just getting our stuff reset here. We had a little bit of technical difficulty, but I believe we're all set now. Had some problems with iRacing tonight once again, but so far so good, and looks like everything's all set here. And there we go. We also made a correction to that screen issue there. Nonetheless, we are back in action here. Andy Abry rocking a new paint scheme this week. He's currently running 5th. Only 11 drivers showed up tonight here for the Radical Racing League at Tsukuba. One of those that are needing to have a good night. Chad Lurdy is currently running 7th. Chad's a mere 6 points in the lead tonight, or in the lead for the Radical Racing League season points here. He's got some right front damage. It looks like he has visited the off track at some point. These drivers do have 2 fast repairs available to them. However, this racetrack's fairly short. Tim Dell's our leader right now, is making lap times in the 51.2s, 51.3s, and you know, crossing these off pretty quick. Only 45 laps around this place, and we're already 7 laps in for tonight. These drivers take on the left and right handers here of Tsukuba here in Japan on the iRacing service. I do believe this will be the last road course of the Radical Racing League Season 2. Oh, I believe it. Okay, nope. Producer John Locke's telling me there's one more coming up, and that is going to be the Charlotte Roval here in just a few weeks. That'll be a lot of fun to watch as we see NASCAR have a wild weekend there this weekend. Just to show you, if you have to come down pit road, how much it hurts you. Tyler Bloom right there is out front. I believe that's Eric Steele he's out in front of. It is, and Tyler's 2 laps down. We came live here. We came to the broadcast here just about a lap or so in, and Tyler was limping that machine around, got it fixed up, and he's back on track, trying to hold off the lead lap car of Eric Steele's. Not going to happen, as Eric's going to look to the right as they work their way through the S's into that sweeping left-hander. I've raced a lot of a couple different cars here. The Ferrari, I've also myself raced the Miatas, and this track is a lot of fun each and every week. You've got to be patient with it. It has some high-speed technical areas. It also has it has a lot of areas where it's just all about not overdriving the track, and that's the majority of road racing in general tonight as we ride on board Tim Dells. It's all about trying to maintain the car. As you see Chad Lurdy goes wide there. Tim Dells is going to look left. Chad's going to go a lap down early here on lap 9. But this track is all, you know, any road course, but especially Tsukuba, is all about maintaining your pace. Don't let the car get out from under you. It's very easy to bind up the car through the gears. The car gets tight, you lose traction, and before you know it, you're going to find a wall. Because there is some speed to be had here at Tsukuba. As Tim Dells comes across the stripe here to take lap 10 of 45 for tonight's event. We'd be amiss without talking about our sponsor, CB Multisport. Coming on board a few weeks ago, giving the Radical Racing League some extra attention throughout season 2, and then the two sponsors that have been with us since day 1 of season 2 is Quack's Designs and Kelsey's Cakes, coming on board for the Radicals season 2. We appreciate them being here. Without their support, it'd be difficult. It's just that much more difficult to run a league and bring on the broadcast and have Chad really put together a strong group of drivers each and every week. We saw just behind Tim Dales as we saw him coming down the back straight there. Mariusz Lazinski's behind him, 2.1 seconds back. Mariusz is showing to be a little bit quicker here by about 0.2. But he has been steadily falling. That is one of those drivers that has had an issue come up each and every week. He has led laps. He's probably led more laps than most drivers in this league this season. But he has not had the results to show for it. And this is a driver hungry for a win, hungry for an opportunity to come out front and bring home the checkered flag here. Dan Wells running third right now to get a new paint scheme for that driver. Very good in that pink and black paint scheme. Looks like that is going to be, yep, that is a breast cancer awareness car. Eric still rocking his normal paint scheme tonight in 4th place. A solid run for Eric. Andy Abry, another driver that's running a little bit of a different scheme here at Tsukuba, running a little bit of a camo pattern on that SR8. If you've not ever driven the SR8s on the iRacing service, I tell you what, you're missing out. These cars are a lot of fun. They're instant grip, a lot of downforce, a lot of power on the low end, very torquey. And they have put on a heck of a show here on the SRN this season throughout the Radical Racing League Season 2, both on the road and oval side of things. Kevin Lell, he's currently running 6th right now, rocking the same paint scheme as Dana. That pink ribbon on the hood. Alan Mui tonight. Solid run so far for Alan, running 7th. Another driver who's just looking for a clean run. Cliff Warren. He was having some issues right before the broadcast started. He has settled into 8th. And then Tyler Bloom, as we mentioned earlier, 2 laps down after having to come in and get that car repaired. And Chad Lurdy, he is exiting pit road just now. I'm not sure if that was a scheduled stop or not. I do believe we're running a lower fuel cell again this week, but I don't know if that was planned or if Chad Lurdy may have had an incident on track. He's come back out right now. In 10th place, 2 laps down. A little bit of a fight on track here. This is not for position, though. Kevin Lell's going to move out of the way. Mariusz Lazinski nearly gets loose underneath Kevin Lell. That was them passing to send those drivers a lap down. Mariusz really driving hard, trying to get caught back up to Tim Dells. 1.2 seconds back right now. Mariusz is showing still about a 10th faster each and every lap. Driving the wheels off that car. Let's ride on board a lap around Tsukuba with Mariusz Lazinski. Seen that onboard, Mary Slazinski really started to close in on Tim Dales, made big gains down in the bottom of her, in the beginning of turn one. We've got a driver taking it wide there. That's going to be Alan Mui. He's got that car turned around, trying to get out of everybody's way. In the meantime, we're going to have a fight for the lead here as Mary Slazinski really got a big run down the backstretch here. Tsukuba was able to draft up and work around that last right-hander and get right to the bumper of Tim Dales before turn one. And there you go, right there. Tim Dales, Mary Slazinski, bumper to bumper. Tim able to maintain that position, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do it for long. Well, Slazinski has really turned up the heat now. 2/10 faster that last lap. He is really working the draft down the backside straight before they come back to the start-finish line. As these drivers work lap 17, they have lapped their way all the way up to 5th. Mary Slazinski hard on the brakes there. He sees a little bit of tire smoke, and that car did not quite land in the corner the way he wanted it to. He's going to lose a little bit of ground here. But again, right in the tire tracks of Tim Dales as they make that last right-hander to come back to the front stretch. That last right-hander is very sweeping, very wide, broad. You really would not really think that you could take it, or you would have to slow down so much, but it's a very flat and just open corner. Takes a few minutes there, to a few seconds to really get around it. That is a place of contention for some of these road drivers. Nonetheless, Tim Dales still out front by 6/10. No, make no mistake that Mary Slazinski is on the roll here. Mary Slazinski looks like he overdrove the car just a little bit in that same corner he did last lap. Just not getting down there to the bottom and apexing that turn, being the quickest he can be. He's going to lose some time. 8/10 now as Tim Dales comes across the stripe to take lap, that's lap 19 right there. He's widened that gap to nearly a full second. In the meantime, we look back here. That's Andy Abry on the lead lap. Andy's the last car on lead lap. He's currently running 5th. Tyler Bloom right behind him. Cliff Warren just ahead of them as well. Producer John saying that Cliff was smoking just a couple laps ago. Something happened to that machine. Looks like he got it running back here. Maybe he had to take a visit down pit road. Yeah, it looks like he did. He's only been out for about a lap or so. He had to come back down pit road to get that car adjusted. Mary Slazinski has fallen back here, a steady 1 second gap behind Tim Dales. At this point, he's still got a good bit to go here. 25 laps left to go at tonight's event here at Tsukuba for the Radical Racing League. We still have got another 4 or 5 more weeks of racing all the way throughout November 17th for the Radical Racing League right here on the SRN. I believe we head back to an oval track as you see Mary Slazinski again locking up the brakes in that exact same corner. That's going to allow Tim Dales to really stretch out his lead here. He's going to use the draft behind Tyler Bloom. 1.5 seconds on now on back. Oh, Tim Dales turns Tyler Bloom. Contact with the leader. Mary Slazinski caught right back up to the bumper. Slazinski looking to the right side as they go through turn 1. Tim Dales is going to try and cross him up. He's not going to be there. A change of events here at Tsukuba on lap 21. Tim Dales gets caught up with a Tyler Bloom as they work down the front stretch. Mary Slazinski, our leader now. Starting to unwind it a little bit on Tim Dell, 6.9, or I'm sorry, yeah, 0.69, so 7/10 back is Tim Dell's, and a lap ago, Tim really had a moment here trying to get by a lapped car of Tyler Bloom. I don't think he expected Tyler to run right there, and Tim was just a little bit quicker on corner exit, caused Tyler Bloom to go around. I don't see a ton of damage on the front of Tim Dell's car. He certainly got underneath Tyler Bloom, and he's right there back to the bumper. Mary Slazinski looking left, giving him a little bit of the bumper here. You see the back of Mary Slazinski's car a little tore up. And these two drivers fighting hard for the lead here. Mary Slazinski overdriving that same corner. There's going to be a drag race down the backside straight. Tim Dell's is going to look right. He's going to have the preferred line through that sweeping right-hander, and he's going to be able to get by him. Maybe overdriving it a little bit. Mary Slazinski coming back. Nose to tail coming across the stripe. Mary Slazinski looking to the right side back to turn one. These two drivers really fighting hard. You see Lazinski shutting the door on Tim Dell's on the crossover in turn one. This is a fight for the lead. They're starting to catch up to some lap traffic as well. They're going to have to manage through. The last time they did that, Tim Dell's rather, got into the rear of Tyler Bloom. And this time, Dell's is the driver, not getting into that corner very well. As they head down this long straight, you see the lap cars there moving over. That's going to be, I believe that was Andy Abry getting out of the way there for the leaders. Tim Dell's using up all the runoff pad there as well, trying to keep it within striking distance of Mariusz Lazinski, who's in the lead right now here on lap 24. Just a little while ago, we were talking about next week. It is going to be the Charlotte Roval. Due to the chaos at the starting of the broadcast, we were working to try to get everything set up with iRacing, and we are here now, fortunately, here at Tsukuba. 45 laps of racing action underway. We're 24 in the books so far. We've got a fight for the lead. We're going to see some continued road racing action right here on the SRN next Tuesday night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, when these drivers of the Radical Racing League take on Charlotte's Roval, the last road course of the season. Oh, we've got cars had a big moment there. I believe that was Cliff Warren, Tyler Bloom again, maybe? And it looks like Tyler Bloom is just not having a good night. You see Cliff Warren with a lot of nose damage. Let's go back and take a look at what happened in that last turn. Oh, it looks like Tyler Bloom got loose. Cliff Warren got airborne. But the leaders were able to squeak by here. Mariusz Lazinski out front, 0.2 of a second over Tim Dell's. As they work through the right-hander, this is the corner that Lazinski has had trouble with all night, but hitting the apex perfectly there as they start the drag race down the backstretch. Tim Dell's right in the tracks of Lazinski, using up the draft. Half a car length now. That sweeping right-hander as they come across the front stretch. Getting ready to take the stripe here. That's going to be the complete lap 25 on to 26 here as Tim Dell's drove it in hard there, looking right side by side for the lead. He's going to have the preferred line through the S's, but overdrove it. Lazinski overdrove it as well. Looking for the crossover here. Not going to be able to get it done. Tim Dell settles back into second. Mariusz Lazinski again. This is the corner where he struggled so much tonight. Apex is that corner perfectly again as Tim Dell's goes around. That's going to cost him right there. Tim Dell's loses that car. It looks like Abry's going to give him plenty of room. That's going to be the race right there as Tim Dell's loses it. Coming to the back straight. Looks like he's going to fall some 7 seconds behind Mariusz Lazinski. What a crushing spin there out of that corner. We've been talking about that. Lazinski had problems with it all night long. Getting down to the apex of that corner. He's been able to pull it off the last couple laps. Tim Dell's just overdrove it in there. Got that car looped around. And Mary Slazinski now out front, 6.9 seconds over Tim Dales. Let's take a look here at the lap and what Tim Dales is able to do. You see him in the background there, but quite a long straightaway that separate these two drivers. He is starting to run him down. He's already ran him down half a second. And not many laps remaining. We're under 20 to go here at Tsukuba. Again, the second to last road race for the Radical Racing League Season 2 right here on the SRN. It looks like Cliff Warren has decided to retire that machine. He has had a little bit of a rough night tonight. Tyler Bloom is set to gain a spot here if he continues running. We continue to look at the interval board here. Tim Dales really running down Mariusz Slazinski. Just a lap and a half ago was 7+ seconds back, now only 5.5. And that last lap by, Tim Dales was over a second faster than our leader. He certainly has enough laps to get it done, but can he hang on to that car throughout the duration of tonight's event and try to get back up there relatively damage-free? He did get into the rear of Lazinski and also had a little bit of a moment there with Tyler Bloom. That's where he got into trouble with Lazinski able to get by him. That car so far looking okay. Continuing to make gains now. 2/10 through the first half of the racetrack. Again, we'll see these two drivers on the same straightaway for just a little bit here. As you see it right there on your screen. Now down to 5.1 seconds. This will be a fight for the lead here as they come across the stripe. There'll be 15 to go. What can Tim Dales do? Or Mariusz Slazinski, can he hold him off and get a season win here? Another driver just hanging on. And again, we talked about our points leader coming into this. Chad Lurdy right now is... Now Chad Lurdy is currently running 8th. Alan Mooey's running 7th. Kevin Lell 6th. See the damaged nose of, Andy Abry is running 5th. The damaged nose of Eric Still. He's running 4th right now. The last car on the lead lap. And what happened to Tim Dales? He's lost some time to our leader, now 10 seconds back. Let's go back and see if we can find what happened to Tim Dales. Producer John saying it happened out of one. We'll walk back and watch this all the way back here, so we can find out what happened to Tim. Yeah, just driving it hard into turn 1. Oh, dipped a tire off into the grass, got it sideways. Was able to 360, and he's on pit road, though. He's going to have fresh tires and enough fuel to finish tonight's event. Mariusz Slazinski is working his way down the backstretch. And Tim get back off of pit road before Lazinski comes by. Lazinski's in that hard right-hander. Tim Dales, he's rolling. He stayed on the lead lap. What is this going to turn into? As Tim Dales has got fresh tires and plenty of fuel, he's on the way to finish this race. I don't suspect we'll see him have any issues staying in front of Mariusz Lazinski. But how much time can he gain as he has fallen all the way back to 4th? Dan Allel, he's on pit road as well for a stop here. You see Tyler Bloom there as well. He does have an opportunity to pick up a spot. All Tyler's got to do is run another lap or so. In the meantime, Dan Allel's on pit road for a scheduled stop here. Again, these drivers running a 40% fuel cell, so it does require them to make a pit stop. Mariusz Slazinski, he's not done that yet. He's out front now, in front of Dan Allel by some 41 seconds or so. He's going to continue to stay out there as we're about 12 laps to go here at Tsukuba. And producer John Long talking about how short the pit stop was for Danilel. He did not take 4 tires. He didn't take any tires at all, just enough fuel to finish it off here. This may be a good strategy play for Tim in an effort to, I'm not Tim, but Dana to maintain that second place spot. In the meantime, Tim Dell's just worked his way around Eric Stills. Eric Stills coming down pit road on the access. He's going to come get a little bit of fuel. Tim Dell's on the roll, though. He is trying to make up as much time as he can. He's all the way back up to third. He is not going to catch these two up front, short of, well, Mariusz Lazinski's going to have to pit. I believe he has to pit here on fuel. I don't think there's any kind of saving he could do to keep this car out front. It doesn't look like his pace has slowed very much. So he is going to have to come down with the rest of these drivers as he has not pit yet. And he's going to come across the stripe here with 10 to go. This will determine, once he pits, if Danilel's gamble of taking no tires is going to pay off. Lazinski running off to the run out there. Maintaining a 42-second gap over Danilel. Tim Dell's on the move here. He's the fastest on the track right now by almost a full second. But he is just strictly going to run out of laps here tonight. He may have an opportunity to catch Danilel, but he has worn out that machine. Mariusz Lazinski still out on the racetrack. He's not going to come down pit road this time either. I really wonder what the fuel mileage looks like on that machine. He does have a good gap in front of him. Once Tim lost it, not the first time, but even the second time, he had a pretty big gap behind in front of everybody. This is kind of playing in his favor here. You see him taking it very easy through the infield. No point in really pushing this car. He's got a big gap out front, and he's actually starting to pull away a little bit further. 42.7 seconds on back. In the meantime, Tim Dales is really starting to run down second place Danilel. You see him there on the same screen coming down the front or coming down the back stretch. So they make that sweeping right-hander back to the front stretch here. These two drivers, this may be a battle before this thing comes to a close. They're going to cross the stripe here with about 9 to go. That last lap, Tim Dale's another almost full second faster than the drivers in front of him. He's got to make up about 3 seconds or so. Short of having any errors here, he's going to be able to at least catch Danilel. I don't know if Mariusz Lazinski, though. I don't know what the plan is here. As far as my understanding is, these drivers are going to have to pit. Doesn't look like Lazinski has a plan to do that just yet. Pretty much all by himself here as he's on that long straight. Producer John Long telling me that it is a possibility here that Lazinski could wait to the very last second, run out to the very bottom of that take, a quick splash to get back out, and probably maintain the lead with a healthy margin. As he is, like I mentioned, starting to gain a little bit of time here on Danilel. In the meantime, Tim Dales, he's on the run here. He's trying to catch up with Danilel. He's made quite a bit of time now. That less than 2 second gap between, that's 1.8 back. That's down from about 7 seconds or so when this first run started here. The track now completely covered in shade. More grip out there, but also probably producing a little bit of a tight condition. But Danilel don't mind. He didn't take tires. He wants as much grip in the track as possible for the closing laps here. Second to last road course race nearing in the books here on lap 39 of 45. Tyler Bloom looks like he was able to continue. You see him outside of Eric Still there, and our leader coming up along coming along left of him here, but he had to get out there and try to run a lap or two. He was able to move into 9th place with that effort. Tim Dale's now 1.3 seconds behind Dana Lell. He's going to catch Dana in the next lap or two here. We're going to keep paying close attention to Mary Slazinski. Still not come down pit road. I don't know if this is just a gamble by that driver to make it the whole way or what his plan is here, but this would be a decent win for him here tonight. Again, a driver who I imagine has probably led a majority of the laps this season for the Radical Racing League. Just continues to have some poor luck and has made some, probably some driver miscalculations throughout the season as well. That has cost him what I imagine would have been 3 or 4 victories here during season 2. Out front right now. He's going to come across the stripe and take the 5 to go signal from the flagman here at Tsukuba. Oh, there it is, and you see him. Mary Slazinski's going to come down pit road. Let's see what he does here. You got to have a perfect entry down pit road. Looks like he gets slowed down enough. Going to look for his stall here. We'll see if we can find out if that car takes tires or if he just goes for fuel only here. All he needs is a quick splash. Oh, it looks like it's going to be fuel only for Mary Slazinski. No, that car has not hit the jacks yet. And you see it, he's off already. No tires for that driver. He's going to get back out on track, and with a sizable gap, I imagine, back to Dana Lell. Waiting for our scoring to update here. There you see it. You only lost about 3 seconds or so. Nothing major. Oh, there it is. Yeah, now we're starting to see it kick in. So yeah, either way, 10 seconds lost. I don't think it really matters much. Oh, there it is, even more now. Dana Lell within 18 seconds, but Tim Dales is the one he's got to be worried about the most. Tim still running about a lap, about a second faster than the drivers in front of him. We're 5 to go. Tim is just going to flat run out of laps to catch our leader. As you see, Dana Lell lock it up in that sweeping right-hander for the long straight. Tim's going to run right into the tracks of him, continuing to run that driver down that gap now 0.8 of a second, closing. Lazinski working his way through lap traffic. Up the S's and around the corner here. That car looking pretty stable, probably the best it has all night long. He's got just enough fuel to finish this here. Lazinski out front now, 17 seconds over Dana Lell. In the meantime, Tim Dales quickly tried to make that time up. Oh, Tim Dales may have had a moment here. He has fallen off the pace. 8 seconds now. Back in turn 2, producer John is telling me. Let's go back and see if we can take a look. Oh, sure enough, catches the curb. That is probably a perfect way to sum up Tim Dales' night. Again, running in the lead, getting caught behind a lap car. And losing it there, getting a little bit tangled up with them. And then he's also spun that car twice after losing the lead to Mariusz Lazinski. Gonna settle in for a 3rd place finish here. Mariusz taking him down the backstretch one more time. He's got to do it twice more. He's gonna bring home the victory here for the Radical Racing League. But if we have learned anything, the race is not over until the leader passes the flag stand for the last time. This driver, he's been here before. 2 laps to go, out front leading, and something happens. So we'll be real mindful of that here as you see him lock up the brakes a little bit. I will say that car has looked the smoothest it has all night long here, the last 10 laps or so, running perfect laps out of Lazinski. No tires tonight. The last time he came down pit road, he took fuel only. Daniel, he's got to breathe a sigh of relief here. He can back off the pace a little bit. He doesn't have to push that car as much. Another driver who has not taken tires tonight. Gambled on a pit strategy called. He's going to come out of here with a second place finish as long as he can hang on for 2 more laps. Tim Dale's running third. And that has been a rough night for Tim. We see Andy Abry running fourth right now. Eric Steele rounding out the top 5. Eric looks like he has made contact with something with that right rear. But he's going to keep rolling. White flag, though, is out for Mariusz Lazinski. He's got to work his way around this racetrack one more time here at Tsukuba. Again, we talked about it earlier this evening. A driver who has been so close to winning so many times here. But he's going to get it done. He's going to close it up. The right-hander, Mariusz Lazinski, with a road course win with the Radicals here at Tsukuba. Congratulations to Mariusz Lazinski here as the rest of these drivers work to finish up their laps. Dana Lell's going to bring home second place in a tire gamble that paid off. Tim Dale's going to bring home third after what seemed like a promising start of the race. Andy Abry is going to finish fourth, a lap down. Eric Still with a beat-up right rear is going to finish fifth. Kevin Lell, Chad Lurdy, Alan Mooey, and Tyler Bloom are going to round out the remainder of the field here tonight for the Radical Racing Leagues at Tsukuba. We're going to step away for just a moment. Get ready for a little bit of post-race coverage right here on the SRN. Another road course race here with the Radicals in the books, and we've got a first-time winner for Season 2. Another, as I spoke about it several times tonight, a driver who has been very close to bringing home the victory and closing out several wins here in Season 2. It's not followed to him until tonight. Mariusz Lazinski, congratulations on that win. That's got to feel good after so many close attempts so far this season.
Yeah, definitely. This one does feel good. I mean, this is a hard league to race in. I mean, I've been trying to beat these guys since the first race of the season, and it took a while.
Mariusz, talk about when you were new that You saw the action in front of you coming through that last right-hander. Tim Dell's getting tangled up with a lap car tonight and allowing you to get caught back up to him there and get by and ultimately hold him off for the win. Did you feel like you had a car to beat after you got out front, or did you know you were going to have Tim Dell's to contend with later on?
Tim was strong. Like, even when I got in front of him, I knew he was going to get past me. He was fast in practice. He was faster than me. I was kind of feeling I was going to finish second in this race, but apparently he had some issues, and I was able to sneak the win.
Mariusz Lazinski bringing home the victory here tonight at Tsukuba. Mariusz, I know, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank tonight as well that's on that car?
Just Extreme Performance Motorsport. Just a great team, and finally got a win for them.
And congratulations to Mariusz Lazinski. Going to quickly move over to second place, Dana Lell. Dana, it looked like you relied on a no-tire strategy there on that pit stop to kind of hang on to that second place spot tonight.
Yeah, that was pretty much the only chance I had to even remotely having a chance, honestly. And I just managed to put enough fuel just to get me to the end. Then Tim was coming pretty strong there. I want to say he said he was 7 seconds behind, 7 seconds when I came back out of the pits. Then in about 10 laps, he brought it all down to half a second. Then I guess he overshot a corner, and that's what actually saved me actually from him getting around me. But yeah, those two were gone. There was no other way of catching them other than pit strategy.
Dana, talk about how this car was tonight here to drive at Tsukuba. What was it like to be in the driver's seat of these machines? I know it's a lot of grip, a lot of downforce, but how did it feel to be up there and running at pace around Tsukuba?
Sketchy. They have a lot of downforce, but also you can snap the rear tires so easily, and you just have to manage throttle control. I mean, some of us were only going down the second gear. Well, I know me and Mariusz were going down the first, getting out of the corners. But you just have to be really careful on how much power you put down and how much wheel you put into it.
Daniel Lell bringing home a second place finish tonight here at Tsukuba. And then we're going to move over to Tim Dell's. Tim, I know that's got to be a disappointing finish here after what looked like was going to be a very strong race for you. Unfortunately, getting caught up there in an incident, let Mariusz by, and then looping the car a couple times after that.
Yeah, it was all my fault. I mean, I had, the track suits me well, and I had it dialed in pretty good. Usually it's Mariusz who's out front, and he does something to allow us to get back in it. And today it was me. I ran in the back of Tyler. I told him I was coming, and he took the inside to give me the outside, and I totally misjudged it and just ran in the back of him, and totally my fault. Apologize, Tyler. And then I was able to correct it and stay with Mariusz, and then I just clipped the curb and spun it out, and which pretty much handed him the race, and then overdrove it trying to get to Dana and just screwed up. So, this has happened to Mariusz a couple times this season, so at least this being my screw up could hand him the win and hopefully balance the scales back out.
Tim, was there a change in handling characteristics on that car after that contact, or was this strictly just tires just pretty much cooked there towards the end?
Neither. It was driver error. Before I pitted, lap 27, I pitted at 29. Lap 27 was my fastest lap of the race. The tires were wearing just fine, and if I had I don't have a button box, any of the fancy stuff, so I have to scroll through screens with a mouse. If I'd had time to do that, I would actually not taken tires at all, because they really were not fading. It was totally on me. It was driver error today.
Tim Dell's bringing home what sounds like a disappointing third place finish, but showed he had the pace to win tonight here at Tsukuba.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely, and we're going to go ahead and wrap up coverage here on the SRN for the Radical Racing League. Again, next Tuesday night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on the SRN. We're going to bring you Roval action from Charlotte, the last road course, the last left and right-hander, as we start to wind down the Radical Racing League season here on Sim Racing News Network. On behalf of producer John Long, I'm Sean Fitz. We'll catch you tomorrow night, where Ohio Sim Racing takes on Kansas in the round of 8 for playoff action in the Xfinity cars. We'll see you tomorrow night.